Do you guys ever find yourself with an excess of garlic and rice? I know I do from shopping at Costco and the Asian store. With a little bit of technique and a few key ingredients, you can make one of the best iterations of fried rice. Just garlic, rice, and oil. Okay, a little bit of salt and pepper, but those are freebies. You can have one of the best fried rices. Today I'm sharing a little bit more Filipino culture with you with sinangag, or Filipino garlic fried rice. Welcome back to Big Time Eaters. Welcome back to Big Time Recipes. I'm your host, Ezra. Let's talk about the ingredients. Some dried out white rice, a whole lot of minced garlic, cooking oil of your choice. Today we're using olive, salt, and white pepper. So for some optional additions that you can add to make this dish a little bit better, in my opinion, some of this Knorr liquid seasoning and some unsalted butter, a couple of eggs to be fried, whites and greens of a scallion. So for first steps, we need to make an infused garlic oil as well as brown our garlic a little bit. We're not going to cook it all the way through. It's going to be almost like a confit. So contrary to like Chinese fried rice where you're cooking at really high heat, everything goes together really quickly, you're gonna take it a little bit slower with the sinangag because we're wanting to infuse that oil with the garlic flavor as well as cook our garlic all the way through rather than like brown it really quickly. So we're gonna go over in our wok at a 4 out of 10. And then we're gonna go in with our olive oil. And I chose olive oil because I like the flavor that it adds. You can of course use any cooking oil you like, but we're gonna go in with a healthy amount. And then, while the wok is still cold, we're going to add in all that crushed garlic. And now that our garlic's in the pan, you want to keep it in motion so that any piece that's getting a little more attention gets swapped out for some that isn't. And immediately you're going to notice the garlic aroma is permeating throughout your kitchen, and it's wonderful. You're going to have your people upstairs coming down and being like, what's cooking? At this point, I'm also going to add in the whites of our scallion as well so that we can get some of that scallion flavor infused as well. And I think at this point need a tiny bit more oil. And you want to keep the container that you use for your garlic close by because once this is browned all the way, we're going to reserve some for topping our rice. So some of the rice is going to be infused with this browned up garlic and some is going to have it topped over the top. All right guys, so take a look here. We're getting pretty close to where we want the garlic to be before we remove some of it. You see how it's changing to that nice perfect caramel golden brown color. And I've also swapped to the metal spatula with some slots in it because we are going to remove the garlic. All right guys, so that's perfect right there. So we're going to take half the garlic and get it back into our vessel here. And that's going to go perfect as a topping, a nice crunchy little topping in our rice. And with the rest of this, we can leave it in. And as I'm adding in the rice, you can see that I reserved it here on a sheet tray. This is just one of the good ways to preserve your rice so that it's nice and texturally crunchy and dried out, which it makes for a perfect fried rice. Don't put any sheet plastic on it or anything like that because then you're going to get the condensation and that moisture is going to kind of permeate throughout your rice. And again, we're staying at a lower heat so that our rice has time to infuse with all those aromas. Chop up our rice, give everything a toss, break up any big clumps.
Meanwhile,
all right guys, you can see here our rice is taking on a beautiful almost brownish golden hue from absorbing all that aromatic oil and the flavors from our crispy garlic. So now at this point I'm going to go in for a taste, and we definitely need salt because we haven't had any, but I'm also going to go in with my unsalted butter. This is one of those optional additions that's going to bring a nice velvety creaminess to the rice that's going to pair super well with it, as well as add in my salt. I don't want to go too heavy-handed with the salt because I am going to garnish it with that liquid seasoning, but I'll start with that and mix our butter in, allow that to get melted. And you can see as that butter melts into the rice, it's just giving it a nice almost goldish hue, and that mouthfeel is going to be great. That's one of those optional adds. Again, it's already a pretty fatty dish, so butter is not needed whatsoever. Really all you need is the garlic, rice, oil, and then a bit of salt, and you're all set. We are going to add in some white pepper as well. If you don't have white pepper or access to white pepper, black pepper works completely fine. I just find that the white pepper accentuates the dish a little bit better. We are pretty much there, ready to plate up with our fried egg. So we'll go in a little bit of our scallions now and reserve some for garnish along with our crispy garlic. and we'll be right back for the taste test. We got it plated up, topped it off with our fried egg, the scallions, as well as the fried garlic. You can see here. And last but not least, the thing that brings it together for me personally is this Knorr liquid seasoning. You may have seen the Maggi version of this, but in my household, we always use Knorr. So that's the last little thing I'm gonna add, just a little bit over the top. Nice little MSG boost. Can't go wrong with that. A scoop of rice, top it off with our egg, and that looks like an immaculate bite. It's a bite for you, a bite for you over here, and a bite for me. Wow, that was a immaculate bite. Everything works together so well in this dish. It all complements each other. Crunchy, crispy garlic, and that little topping over the top. Nice textural difference. The aromas permeated throughout the rice. A little touch of salt, a little bit of velvetiness from the butter we added, and then the freshness of the scallion. And then, of course, you can never go wrong with a fried egg on most foods. Let's see what Denzel has to say.
Guys, the dentist has arrived. You know what time it is. One thing I can tell is that I've had this before.
Stop the cap.
I'm just kidding, I've never had it, but it looks amazing. One for me, one for me, one for me.
What is going on, bro? What is happening?
That is wonderful. Oh my gosh. You get the crunch from the garlic, which is so nice, and that egg with that togarashi seasoning on it.
Yeah.
It's nice, but honestly, the best part is just the rice. So since the rice was dried out, you could tell the difference in it. It tastes a lot better that way,
dente.
Honestly. Al dente, es dente, dent head. Let's go into my bed again. Thank you.
Go into your bed. All right, guys, that wraps up another recipe. That wraps up another story from my childhood. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with your family members so they can see all the big time recipes that we're going up. And if you want to see more Filipino recipes, check out the pancit right around here. Catch you in the next one.